Hello students, now in this video I will discuss some periodic properties of elements. First is electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy is the amount of energy released when an electron is added in an isolated gaseous atom. An atom is a neutral one. When we add one electron in this atom, the atom converted to anion, and at this time some amount of energy is being released. This released energy is known as electron gain enthalpy. Again, if we want to add one more electron in this anion, then this time electron gain enthalpy comes out with positive sign. That means in this process we have to supply some amount of energy. Because of repulsion that incoming electron is experiencing from electrons which are present already in this anion. Now let us discuss various factors which affects electron gain enthalpy. First is atomic size. Electron gain enthalpy varies inversely with atomic size. That means smaller is the size, more is electron gain enthalpy. We can explain this by explaining in this way that as the size of the electron is less, for example here, when size of the atom is less, then all the electrons which are present in the outermost shell experiences more force of attraction from the nucleus. Okay. Now in this way, if one more electron is being added in this shell, then readily this electron can be added in the outermost shell because of a strong force of attraction. Okay. So more readily atom accept the electron, more energy it will release out, and in this way electron gain enthalpy is more. Okay. So it varies inversely with atomic size. Second, nuclear charge. This also I have discussed just now. More is the nuclear charge, more is the electron gain enthalpy. So it varies directly with nuclear charge, varies inversely with nuclear charge. Okay. So in this way, along a period, electron gain enthalpy becomes more and more negative as size decreases. Okay. While on moving down the group, it becomes less negative because size becomes more and more. Now, noble gases have positive electron gain enthalpies. Positive electron gain enthalpy means atom is not accepting electron readily, and for the addition of electron in the outermost shell of that atom from outer source, we have to supply some amount of energy. Halogens have maximum value of electron gain enthalpy within a period. Why? Because halogens are the smallest one in respective period. Okay. See, this is halogen family. Okay. So halogen atoms are the smallest atoms in their respective periods, and in this way their electron gain enthalpies are maximum. Now let us discuss some exceptional cases. In halogen family, electron gain enthalpy of chlorine should be lesser than electron gain enthalpy of fluorine, as size of chlorine is more than size of fluorine. Similarly, electron gain enthalpy of sulfur should be lesser than electron gain enthalpy of oxygen, and reason is same. Size of oxygen is less and size of sulfur is more. And electron gain enthalpy varies inversely with size. More is the size, lesser is electron gain enthalpy. But in this case, electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is lesser than chlorine, and electron gain enthalpy of oxygen is lesser than sulfur. Let us discuss its reason. Although fluorine and oxygen, they are very small in size, and in this way, incoming electron in their outermost shell will experience more force of attraction, but at the same time, incoming electron will experience force of repulsion from these electrons which are present already in the outermost shell of these atoms. Okay. So incoming electron experience two types of forces. One is the attractive force from the nucleus and another one is repulsive force from other electrons which are present in the outermost shell. For these two elements, this repulsive force is more than the attractive force, and hence in this way electron is not added readily in these two elements. Now size of chlorine and sulfur is little bit larger than size of fluorine and oxygen respectively. So incoming electron can be added more readily. Okay. So in this way we can say that chlorine electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is more than electron gain enthalpy of fluorine, and electron gain enthalpy of sulfur is more than oxygen. But as we move down the group, in oxygen group also and in fluorine group also. So as we move down the group, the size of atoms becomes larger and larger, and in this case the force of attraction that the incoming electron experiences becomes lesser and lesser, and hence electron gain enthalpy becomes less and it decreases down the group. Okay. Now this case I have discussed with you. Electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is more than fluorine and of sulfur is more than oxygen. Next factor is electronic configuration, on which electron gain enthalpy depends. Elements having half filled and fully filled orbitals exhibit more stability. Therefore, electron gain enthalpy will be low for such elements. Since these elements are in their stable form, so they do not want to accept electron, they do not want to disturb their stability, and hence their electron gain enthalpies are low. Electron gain enthalpy can be measured by Born-Haber cycle, and elements with high electron gain enthalpy are good oxidizing agent. So next property is electronegativity. It is defined as the tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a covalent bond. We know that if two atoms are bonded by a covalent bond, then these two atoms share their 1 electron or 2 or 3 electrons. So electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract shared pair of electron towards itself. If A is more electronegative, then it attracts these two electrons towards itself. If B is more, then it will attract these electrons towards itself. This gives polarity in molecule. Okay. Now let us discuss factors that affect electronegativity one by one. First is atomic size. Smaller is the size of atom A, more attractive force its nucleus can put on these electrons, and hence A attract these electrons more strongly towards itself. So electronegativity varies inversely with size. Effect electronegativity one by one. First is atomic size. As we know that size of cation is smaller than other atom. Okay, that means neutral atom. Smaller is the size, more is electronegativity. More is the charge on cation, lesser is the size. So Fe plus 2 is bigger as compared to Fe plus 3. So electronegativity of Fe plus 3 ion is more as compared to Fe plus 2. Third, hybridization. Electronegativity depends upon S character of the hybrid orbital. More is the S character, more will be electronegativity. So in this way, carbon atom which is in sp3 hybridization is having lesser electronegativity as compared to carbon atom which is in sp2 hybridization, and sp2 hybrid carbon atom again have less electronegativity as compared to sp3 hybrid carbon atom. Okay, because on going from sp3 to SP, percentage S character will increase. And as percentage of S character will increase, electronegativity also increases. In a period, as we move from left to right, electronegativity increases because size decreases. Okay, smaller is the size, more is the electronegativity. While in a group, electronegativity decreases as size increases on moving from top to bottom. For noble gases, its value is taken as 0. Okay. Electronegativity helps to predict the polarity of bond and dipole moment of molecule, as I just told you. If electronegativity difference between two atoms A and B is more, A is more electronegative, then it attracts these electrons towards itself, and in this way A acquires little bit negative charge and B acquires positive charge, and hence in this way polarity is developed in molecule. Among all the known elements, fluorine is the highest electronegative element. This is the sequence of electronegativity of some elements: fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. These are considered as most electronegative elements among all known elements. So in this video, I have discussed with you electron gain enthalpy and electronegativity. In my next video, I will discuss valency, melting point, boiling point, metallic character, non-metallic character, diagonal relationship. Thank you. Hello students. Today I will discuss some of the periodic properties of elements. Let us start with valency. It is defined as the combining capacity of the element. The valency of an element is related to the electronic configuration of its atom and usually determined by electrons present in the valence shell. As we know that atom always try to complete its octet to attain stability, and in this way atom either share its electron, gains or loses the electron with other atoms. So these number of electrons that it shares, loses or gains to complete its octet is called as its combining capacity, and that is also known as its valency. On moving along a period from left to right, valency increases from 1 to 4 and then decreases to 0. It is for noble gases. Okay. Let us understand this by configuration of second period elements. Lithium 1s2 2s1, beryllium 2s2. I am telling outermost shell configuration. Boron 2p3, then carbon 2p4, nitrogen 2p5, neon 2p6. Okay. These elements are the elements of second period. So lithium, as it is having one electron at its outermost shell, so to complete its octet, either it will gain 7 electrons or it can lose its 1 electron. So for lithium, it is easy to lose electron and hence its combining capacity is 1, and in this way its valency is 1. Beryllium, 2 electron in 2s subshell. So again it will lose 2 electron, and in this way its combining capacity becomes 2 and hence valency is 2. Boron, 3 electrons in outermost shell. So its combining capacity is 3, means by losing or by sharing these electrons, it can make bond with other atoms. So 3 is its combining capacity and its valency is 3. Similarly, we can talk about carbon, that its valency is 4. So when we move in a period from left to right, valency regularly increases from 1 to 4. Now come to nitrogen. In outermost shell of nitrogen, 5 electrons are present, 2 plus 3. Okay. Now to complete its octet, either it accepts 3 electrons or it loses all these 5 electrons. So for nitrogen, accepting of electron is easier. So it will accept 3 electron with other atoms, from other atoms. And in this way, combining capacity of nitrogen becomes 3 and its valency is 3. Neon, all the subshells, now neon, it has fulfilled configuration. Okay. So in this way, its valency is 0. It will not accept electron nor it will share its electron. Okay. After nitrogen, next element is oxygen. In oxygen, 1 electron will come in this shell. Okay. So combining capacity of oxygen becomes 2, as it needs only 2 electron to complete its octet. Next is fluorine. Fluorine needs 1 electron. Okay. So in a period, valency first increases from 1 to 4 and then decreases from 4 to 0. Okay. Now on moving down the group, the valency remains same. This we can explain with the help of this data. Lithium, sodium, potassium, all these elements belong to first group of the periodic table. From their configuration, we can say that all these elements have same electron in their outermost shell, 1, 1, 1, 1. So their valency is 1. That means in a group, valency always remains same. Transition metals exhibit variable valency because they can use electron from outer as well as penultimate shell. Outermost shell in transition elements is S, and penultimate shell means inner shell contain D subshells. So from these two shells, these elements can use their electrons, and in this way they show variable valency. Next is chemical reactivity. Reactivity of metal increases with decrease in ionization enthalpy, electronegativity, and increase in atomic size. Means if ionization enthalpy becomes less, its electronegativity becomes less, then chemical reactivity becomes more, and if atomic size becomes more, or we can say that if its electropositive character becomes more, then chemical reactivity becomes more. Because chemical reactivity means either losing the electron or sharing of electron. So obviously these properties related to their atomic size, and hence more is the atomic size means more is the chemical reactivity. Now chemical reactivity of non-metals increases with increase in electronegativity as well as electron gain enthalpy and decrease in atomic size. For non-metals, this is the variation. Next is melting and boiling point. On moving down the group, the melting point and boiling point of metallic elements go on decreasing due to the decreasing forces of attraction. Since force of attraction between atoms becomes less, so easily they can be melted, easily they can be boiled. So melting and boiling points are decreases. However, for non-metals, melting and boiling points generally increase down the group. So this is the difference between metals and non-metals. Along a period from left to right, melting point and boiling point increases. Along a period increases because force of attraction between atoms increases, and hence more strongly atoms bonded with each other, and hence in this way boiling point and melting point will be more. So melting and boiling point increases and reaches a maximum value in the middle of the period and then starts decreasing. Okay. Next property is electropositive character. Electropositive character means tendency to lose the electron. Greater is the electropositive character, greater is the metallic character. Okay. Metals are those substances or those materials which can lose electron very easily. And electropositive character is what? Tendency to lose the electron. So both are proportional to each other. More is the electropositive character, more is metallic character. Electropositive character decreases on moving across the period and increases on moving down the group. As we move from left to right in a period, atomic size decreases and force of attraction between outermost shell electron and nucleus becomes more and more, as we have discussed. So in this way, as we move from left to right, since atomic size decreases, so atom cannot lose its electron very easily, and in this way its electropositive character decreases. While on moving from top to bottom, as the size increases, atomic size increases, so more readily element can lose the electron, and hence its electropositive character increases. Alkali metals are the most electropositive and halogens are the least electropositive elements in their respective periods. Alkali metals means first group elements. So alkali metals are the first group elements and halogens are the group 17 elements. These are the first elements of one period and these are the last elements of one period. So these are largest in size, these are the smallest in size, and hence their electropositive character is maximum, and halogens and electropositive character of halogens is minimum. Basic nature of oxides of metallic character, that is, it is also decreases along a period. Now next is diagonal relationship. Certain elements of second period show similarity in properties with their diagonal element in the third period. Let us see. These are the second period elements, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. And these are the third period elements, sodium, magnesium, aluminium and silicon. Lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminium, boron and silicon. These are diagonally related elements. So their properties are very much similar to each other. Okay. So in this way, lithium resembles magnesium, beryllium resembles aluminium, and boron resembles silicon. This is called diagonal relationship and is due to the reason that these pair of elements have almost identical ionic radii and polarizing power. So elements of third period, that is magnesium, aluminium and silicon, are known as bridge elements. Bridge elements, okay? Magnesium, aluminium and silicon, these are known as bridge elements as these show similar properties with second period elements. Now this diagram gives you an idea about variation of properties and their reason. So in this video, I have discussed with you valency, chemical reactivity, melting boiling point and metallic character as well as diagonal relationship properties of the elements. Thank you.